Michael Madsen, the gritty, unforgettable screen presence celebrated for his roles in Reservoir Dogs and Kill Bill, has passed away at the age of 67. He was discovered unresponsive on the morning of July 3rd in his Malibu, California home and was pronounced dead at the scene. His cardiologist has confirmed that his death was due to heart failure, with chronic heart disease and long-standing struggles with alcoholism named as contributing factors. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department has ruled the passing as natural and has closed its investigation, while no autopsy will be conducted following the doctor's certification. Madsen's longtime manager told the press his passing followed a sudden cardiac arrest, aligning closely with the medical explanation. Hours before his death, friends noted that he appeared in good health and good spirits. In recent months, the actor had become sober after years of grappling with substance abuse, and had even been mentoring others in recovery, signaling a hopeful new chapter in his life. Michael Madsen lived and breathed the volatile characters he portrayed on screen: raw, rebellious, dangerous men. But in his off-screen life, he grappled with real turmoil. From DUI arrests to a domestic violence case filed in 2024, later dismissed due to insufficient evidence just 11 months before his death, his life often made headlines in ways that mirrored his cinematic persona. Still, beneath the controversy lay an often overlooked sensitivity. He was drinking and stumbling, yes, but also writing poems and writing new chapters of his life. It was this paradox that gave Michael his magnetic, almost mythic aura. Virginia Madsen, his younger sister and fellow actor, issued a deeply moving tribute that revealed Michael's tender, conflicted heart. He was thunder and velvet, mischief wrapped in tenderness, a poet disguised as an outlaw. We're not mourning a myth, but flesh and blood and ferocious heart. Her words paint a portrait not of a Hollywood legend, but of a complicated brother, son, and father, a man both toughened and softened by life. In the final year of his life, Madsen embraced a second wind. He was involved in several independent film projects: Resurrection Road, Concessions, Cookbook for Southern Housewives, and was putting the finishing touches on his forthcoming book of poetry and prose, titled Tears for My Father, Outlaw Thoughts and Poems. Friends have said he was excited, focused, and determined, right up until the end. This resurgence followed a deeply painful period. In 2022, his son Hudson, then 26, tragically took his own life. The loss devastated Michael, and those around him say he never truly healed. Nevertheless, he sought solace in sobriety and creativity, efforts that tragically would be cut short. Born in Chicago, Michael was the son of a fireman father, Cal, and a writer/producer mother, Elaine. His childhood was tough. He spent time in juvenile detention and worked odd jobs: mechanic, landscaper, hospital orderly, even pumping gas for Hollywood stars. His first major break came when he landed the chilling role of Mr. Blonde in Reservoir Dogs, 1992, directed by Quentin Tarantino. In that moment, he cemented himself in Hollywood's collective memory. But Madsen's journey was far from smooth. He turned down a role in Pulp Fiction, opting instead for Wyatt Earp, a decision he later regretted. That choice cost him not only career momentum, but his friendship with Tarantino, until they reunited in Kill Bill Volume 2, 2004, where he delivered his most layered performance since Reservoir Dogs. "There were times I thought I'd flatline," he confessed in interviews. "We're going to be living in a trailer park." He freely admitted he'd taken poor quality gigs simply to keep the lights on, a testament to both his perseverance and his precarious financial standing. Madsen's life off-screen was rich with contradictions. He was a biker and a bookworm, a tough guy with a poetic soul. His home in Malibu, once sold by Ted Danson after Walt Disney's daughter, was cozy and eccentric: a private beach, a talkative parrot named Marlin, and walls covered in vintage film posters. For all the trouble he courted, he was a devoted father to 6 children: Jessica with Dana Meshling, Christian and Max with Janine Bisignano, and Luke, Calvin, and the late Hudson with his third wife Deanna Morgan, whom he married in 1996. His marriages were no less tumultuous, first to Georgianne Lapierre, Cher's half-sister, then to Janine Bisignano, and finally to Deanna Morgan. A stormy custody battle between 1991 and 1995 took an emotional toll, and even after separating from Janine, love found him again in Deanna. Madsen didn't just act, he wrote. He published several books of poems and reflections. Beer, Blood and Ashes, Eat the Worm, Burning in Paradise, and The Blessing of the Hounds. These were raw, often handwritten mementos of his internal life. On hotel napkins, bar bills, or even his own skin. A snapshot from Blessing of the Hounds. I am lost, alone, and suicidal, although not likely to act upon the latter. He wrote sharply funny lines too, like comparing himself to a hammerhead shark. Man, I think the hammerhead shark is the most bizarre-looking creature I've ever seen. His writing wasn't polished. It was visceral, worrying, and alive. By the mid-2000s, Madsen was poised for revival. After Kill Bill, he spoke of more projects with Tarantino, including a possible prequel exploring the Vega brothers, him as Mr. Blonde, Vic Vega, and John Travolta as Vincent Vega. Though unfulfilled, it represented a hope, a promise of return. He also flirted with other big ideas, acting in a Dirty Harry reboot, or producing Crime Capers in London. There were always more stories to tell, more roles to play, more poems to scribble. Michael Madsen leaves behind a fractured but loving legacy. Wife Deanna, children Jessica, Christian, Max, Luke, and Calvin, and the memory of Hudson. He was preceded in death by only his son Hudson. His sister Virginia and extended family are already planning ways to celebrate his life, though for now, they're honoring his memory privately. Michael Madsen cannot be easily summarized. He was rugged yet romantic, troubled yet tender, an outlaw with a poet's heart. His life was messy and magnificent. A Hollywood anti-hero lived and loved in all his contradictions. At his sister's urging, we remember him as loud, brilliant, and half on fire, who leaves us echoes, gruff, brilliant, unrepeatable, half legend, half lullaby. Michael Madsen may be gone, but the grit of his voice, the honesty of his words, and the power of his performances will echo on. Rest in peace.